Hello, entrepreneurs. Joe DeCharis, CPA extraordinaire, coming to you live from downtown Flushing, New York, for another amazing How to Win Big at Business interview. And we have a financial strategist standing next to me. I don't even know where you're standing. Where are you from?
Hey, Joe. I'm from Manitoba, which is in the middle of Canada, right above Minnesota. Yeah.
Oh, wow. What's the weather like there?
Oh, it's nice and warm. We're lucky right now. Yeah.
So now you do financial strategies and real estate
Yeah,
investing.
you bet.
So let's be transparent here. I don't know anything about you. We just met. That's how I do my interviews. But I was actually supposed to be on your podcast, right?
Yeah.
So that's fine though, because I had the graphics to put up, and then we put this on YouTube, and we try to spread the word.
Yeah.
So first question: if you're in Canada, most of my people are in the United States.
Yeah.
Can you do what you do in the United States?
Yeah. A lot of what people do with real estate investing, our rules are slightly different in Canada and the US, and it's no different than investing in different states or different provinces. In general, strategies are the same, but of course, you want to always be checking with your lawyer, your accountant, your local government if you are doing real estate investing in terms of different rules that you need to follow, of course.
So what's your background? How did you get into this?
Well, I was always going to become an accountant, similar to
Oh
you.
my God.
I know. And I had an aunt who was kind of my hero and someone I really looked up to as a kid, and she was an accountant. And I thought, yeah, that's what I want to do too. So I did get my Bachelor of Commerce, but ended up going into real estate instead. So, but yeah, when I was dating my husband, we were 17 and 21, and I got married just before 20. But he had already bought a rental property. And so when we were dating, so he's 21 and he had two little rental houses already. And I thought, okay, tell me about this. Like my parents don't have rental properties. And so those were kind of the things that we talked about. And, we went for drives and looked at houses, and it was just part of, our lives, even at that super early age, right? So we just started building from there. And, it's not this overnight, I bought 100 properties in 1 year kind of story. It's the typical, slow and steady wins the race.
Nice. Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe in that. So who do you like working with?
So as a real estate agent, our market is smaller, so I don't specialize just in dealing with investors or just one type of luxury market, let's say, so I help all kinds of people with whatever they're looking to buy or sell. But of course, having the knowledge and being a real estate investor myself, I help people as well with real estate investing. So that looks different to everybody. And that's kind of the cool thing about real estate. You could buy a vacation property if that's sort of what you like to do, Airbnb and VRBO, that kind of thing. Or it could just be a single family house, all the way to, of course, multifamily and commercial. And so it's got some variety, and whatever you're interested in, you can invest in, right? Which is kind of neat.
You can get creative, right?
You bet.
If you know the ins and outs. I have a friend in one of my masterminds. He's from Canada, but actually he's hardly ever home. He's like traveling all over the world. Yeah, he started a long time ago. He teaches it. He does like 5-day or 3-day webinars. I learned a lot. About and there was they had, most of them had specialties. Like one woman only did Airbnb, and she was talking about how you can do it with no money, and so it was really interesting.
Yeah. I think when you're teaching, like once people get into teaching, they tend to sort of focus on one strategy as well. But, markets can change too, so I had one So friends of mine, they were doing in Toronto, they were mainly doing student rentals. And then, of course, COVID comes and nobody's going into student housing, right? So there can be benefits, like anything, to putting all your eggs in one basket and getting really good at one strategy. But there's also benefits to diversifying, right? In terms of the types of investments you have or the different markets that you want to invest in. So there's many ways to do it, for sure.
Right. So, in the United States, for some reason, like, people are bidding on houses, like they're going like really quick. Uh, Sellers are getting more than their asking price sometimes.
Yeah.
How do you explain that?
Yeah, that's happening here too in Canada. And what's happened is with COVID, there's just been a shortage of homes for sale. And so what you find is the supply and the demand is driving up price, right? So we don't have enough supply right now. And so when a house comes up, there's multiple people trying to jump on that house, which is driving that price up. So it's a worry that, we're going into a recession or we're going to see the bubble of 2008. In Canada, we didn't have the same types of, I don't know how you want to call it, but lax rules with lending that America had, where you could be making $50,000 and buying a $600,000 house, right? That was a big part of why the 2008 crash happened. But in Canada, we didn't experience the same thing. Of course, we end up having a lot of the ripple effect of whatever happens in America, in Canada. So our economy was affected by what happened, but our lending practices, we didn't have the same type of foreclosures that you guys did. So it's a very different thing that's happening. That's not what's happening right now. But when people see overbidding, they get scared, right?
Yeah, and what was I going to ask you? Yeah, so soon they're going to start foreclosing, right, on all the people that haven't been paying their mortgages.
If you have that happening, then that would be something to be concerned about. Yeah, we don't have that here. That I haven't heard of anybody in our market who's been really struggling.
Oh, really? Yeah.
No.
That's so one of my friends, that's what his prediction was, that there's going to be, a rash of foreclosures, and that's one of the things he teaches about, like how to help people get out of their house.
Yeah.
With dignity. Like, he helps them find a new place. And
yeah.
So do you have any kind of particular strategy right now that you are following?
A lot of what my husband and I are doing is really just looking at opportunities, so that's what I would call myself, as an opportunist, so if something comes up that makes sense, then we look at it. We're not strictly looking at only one type of investment. We also do rent to own, which is sort of, like you mentioned, helping people get into homes. So there could be various reasons for that. Maybe somebody can't quite afford the house yet. Maybe they don't have enough down payment, or they have some credit blemishes they need to deal with first. And it could be also that they continually get kicked out of rental houses and they're just tired of that because maybe the landlord keeps selling the house from under them. So there's lots of different reasons, but that's another thing that we do as well, is help people get into houses.
Okay. Now, do you teach this? Do you have a course?
Yeah, I've got a rent-to-own course, and I'm sort of slowly developing a few courses. It just takes a while because I also, I'm a top-producing realtor on top of that, and I do money coaching and all these different things. So many hats means things happen a little slower, but yeah, I'm going to end up with an academy of all kinds of courses. Yeah, I'm working on a book that should be done by fall, and you know how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta block time, right?
Yeah.
So you also have a podcast, right? And I think I'm going to be on it. What is that about?
So the podcast, I really started it because I know, just with talking to so many people, and you're the same, Joe, that there's so many people that have these dreams of starting businesses, but it's always like, how do I start, right? Or, well, they can do it because they've got all these qualities that I don't have, right? And so
Yeah.
the whole thing was just to really highlight different types of businesses that are out there and to show people there's so many different businesses. Like recently I interviewed somebody who started a food truck company, right? Like all kinds of businesses, wedding venues. Yeah, it's been pretty cool to just see all the different people out there and again, their journey. So often people think, oh, this is what they've always done, or there must be a reason that they could start this business. But there's so much zigzagging in entrepreneurship, right? I started here, but then I heard of this opportunity, or I had this great connection, and that led me over here.
Yeah.
And yeah. And then
Perfect. I love talking about that stuff.
Yeah. People's stories are fascinating. And then the other piece that we talk about is money, because that's the missing piece so often. I've got a great idea, but I have no money. So just to really take the fear of the money piece away for people to realize, okay, there is money out there, and if I want my dream badly enough, the money will come.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how do people get in touch with you?
So the easiest is to reach out through my website, which is investorsmarts.ca.
Okay. I was wondering what the CA was. Investor.
Yeah, .ca is for Canada. Yeah.
Trying to type it in here. I'm not good at Investor Smarts.
Yeah, .ca.
.ca.
Yeah, so I've got just different information out there on there. If people want to connect, if they want to do a call, courses, blog posts, on and on. The podcast, everything's there.
Right.
So
I'm going to check it out.
Awesome.
Do you have any parting words of wisdom?
You know what? Honestly, life is short. Be intentional and create impact daily. That's my motto, and I came up with it about 5 or 6 years ago. And just do it. If you've got a dream that you want to go after, whether that's a business or a personal dream, like life is so short, and I think if COVID's taught us anything, it's that, right? So many things got put on hold, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, right? So yeah, if you've got certain dreams that you want to go after, just do it, and the right people will come up, the money will come.
Yes.
Just go for it.
I have a friend, she says, as long as your moral code is right.
Yeah.
It's part of the art of war. But
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Candice. This was fun. I'm looking forward to being on your podcast.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, awesome. That's our story, over and out. We're sticking with it. Joe DiChiara, I will see you again tomorrow. Thank you.